Welcome to Psychic Medium Toni Greene. I am Toni Greene, the Psychic Medium, here to give you approximately 60 minutes of questions and answers and channeling and connections to loved ones up above. Okay, first and foremost, do not get scammed. I will never reach out to you. And I'm going to say they're using, I'm just going to move this for a second. There we go. They're using a lot of new ways to scam you. Like every time I open my email, there's there's just something new. This morning, Facebook. They're using Facebook. They use DMV. They use everything. They use everything. Okay, as I get started with the show, I'm going to do a few introductions. I'm going to do just a few announcements, rather, and then possibly names and songs, and then get into Q&A. If you'd like to call into Podbean to ask a question, connect with a loved one, please wait until I'm done with all the introductions and announcements and all of that good stuff, and then I'll be able to take those calls on Podbean. So, first and foremost, I am a psychic medium, hypnotist, healer, channel. I offer private sessions on readings and um, hypnosis and healing and channeling. So you can go to my website for any of that. Second, this show does air on Rude Rangers TV, all of its streaming channels, radio stations, podcasts, and WSCS, all of its affiliate channels, streaming channels, and podcasts. Okay. I do take questions. The show is recorded live on YouTube and Podbean. I do take questions and connections in the chat on YouTube and in the chat and also via call in on Podbean. If you're asking a question, ask one clear question, please, about one topic, just one question per person, and ask very specific what you want. If you're thinking I'm going to guess what you want, I'm not a guesser. I'm a psychic. And chances are is not going to address with you what you want addressed. Second, if you've already asked me this question in the past on the show, please book a private session to ask it a second time. If you're asking a repeat question, I'm not even going to go over it with you on the air. Spirit said what they said. It probably has not changed. Next, if you want to connect with a loved one, I just need their first name and their relationship to you, and I'm happy to help you connect with that loved one. And no piggyback questions, like it's one question with 3 or 4 parts to it. Just one question. One solid, good question. If I get through everybody's questions, I will happily go through and take second questions. But to start off with, it's one question per person, one solid, good question per person. Let's see what else. I go live every Monday at noon with Q&A, every Tuesday at noon with the book club, What If, a transformational guide. And right now, if I do a second show, it's just going to be a pop-up show. I'm not scheduling a second show of the week right now. Things have been super duper busy. I have 7 books, and the link to the books, Rebecca was kind enough to put it in the comments. If you'd like any of the books, you can follow that link. If you'd like a private session, you can follow the links. I think that's all the pre-announcements. You can follow me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Podbean, any of the above. If you want to know when I go live, if I'm doing pop ups, the best thing to do is hit the buttons you need to hit so that you get notified and you know when I'm going live. Okay. Um, okay. Now that I have all the announcements, thank you so much for joining me here today. Thank you for being part of the show and the journey and the growth process. Thank you so much for being here. Um, the I was going to start the show. They have not given me songs or names. I did some names on TikTok this morning, but they keep saying to talk about frequency. Frequency. And I know this is how I started last week's show too. Last Monday, I started the show talking about frequency. When we are going through something, good or bad, that is what we are kind of, even if we act like we're okay in, like out in the world, what we're really feeling deep inside is what we are actually projecting. So I want us to be in a space where how we're feeling and what we're feeling is very different than maybe where we are right now. Because where you are right now is not where you're going to be in a month, in a week, in a year. Hopefully you'll be feeling much better every day. Everything gets better. What I want to ask you, and I really want you guys to think about this. If for whatever reason, and it is not, don't think it is, I'm just saying if today was the last day that you were here, it is not, what would you regret? Would it be worrying about somebody who wasn't worried about you? Would it be spending your time trying to get somebody back who didn't even deserve you? Would it be spending time someplace like a company or something where you truly weren't appreciated or with people you weren't appreciated with? What would you regret? Would it be all the time you put into something that didn't even work out anyway when you were trying so hard to make it work? Not trying, but you just were trying to make it work. And no matter what, it just didn't work. And maybe that's the way the universe was trying to let you know that it wasn't supposed to, that there was something better. Would it be spending as much time as you did before in anything, work, a friendship, a relationship, before you moved on to something that maybe had a better chance to work? Now, let me say this. I'm not preaching at anyone in particular. I am not. I really am not preaching at anyone, any specific person. And let me add, I've been in situations where when I look back now, all I can think is, what was I thinking? Why did I spend so much time wanting something or the relationship or trying to make it work or whatever it was when clearly it just was not the best thing for me. And I know when something ends, whether it's a job and it's not our choice, or maybe it is our choice, but we second guess it, like, was that the best move I could have made? It's very, very difficult to move on because we have regret and we're wondering, did we make the right choice? And we want to go back and please, 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 please hear this. There's a such thing called comfortable chaos. A lot of us grow up with comfortable chaos. A lot of us do. And it's where we grow up in a somewhat chaotic situation, so that's our comfort zone. We grow up in an somewhat unstable, either financially or dynamics with siblings or parents or what a somewhat chaotic situation, and that's our comfort zone. It's our emotional or our living comfort zone. We have many different comfort zones. We have a financial comfort zone. We have a relationship comfort zone. We have a friend comfort zone. We have a family dynamic comfort zone. We have a home comfort. What's comfortable to us in our home? What dynamic is comfortable in our home? Is it kids running around and toys all over the place and, dogs barking? Or is it peace? Like everything has its place, not in my home. Nothing has a place anymore. Nothing. But is it just being do you feel safest and most comfortable by yourself? Or do you feel safe and comfortable if there's just one person that you really know and trust? So there's comfort zones on every level. We have a financial comfort zone. If there's this much money in the bank, I'm comfortable. If it goes below that, I'm not. If it goes above it, I'm not. And we don't realize that if we have more than our normal comfort zone, we start to become a little uncomfortable. It's true. It's very true. When it comes to romantic relationships, there's a comfort zone. There's also a pattern that we tend to follow. And it's the same thing with work. There is a comfort zone with work. There's a certain dynamic with our work that makes us very comfortable. And it doesn't mean it's healthy. It doesn't mean it's a healthy dynamic. It just means that's where our comfort zone is. That's what we're used to. Think about, and I'm not bashing any business. Think about, for example, people who work at some place like Walmart. And I've never worked there, so I don't know what it's like. But I've seen some of the things online of what goes on at Walmart. I've never seen that in a Walmart, but the comfort zone of that has to be a crazy dynamic comfort zone. People who like that energy, that sort of energy. But even with work, like what you're comfortable with, the box you fit into is not the box you want, and the box you're in may not be the same thing because you're stuck in your comfort zone. And now let's even take that to relationship. The relationship you want and the one you're in or the one you're fighting for are two completely different things. Because if somebody came up to you and said, "Tell me what you want in a relationship, not in a person," you 9 out of 10 people would not describe the relationship they are just getting out of or the relationship they're in. They would describe something completely different. They would describe a different person. They would describe a different dynamic. But the relationship you're in, you may be very comfortable with that relationship or the dynamic of it or how the rhythm of it works. That's just your comfort zone. How do you change your comfort zone? A couple different ways. You can absolutely change your comfort zone in money, work, title, type of place you work, relationship, friends, family, breaking down the programs that created your comfort zone. Not necessarily breaking them down, but healing what caused the programs that created your comfort zone. You guys, you see those lights flashing? That is crazy. That is confirmation. Once you heal what caused the pattern of your comfort zone or what caused your comfort zone, you can have a brand new comfort zone. The one you want, the relationship, the job, the title, the money that you want, and you're very, very comfortable with it. And now I do say I am a hypnotist. I actually, I don't just say it, I am one. And I do healing work. Those are two very powerful ways to heal the old programs or to heal what caused the cycle or the program that you're running on now so you can get into a new one. So many times when we let go of something, a person, a job, whatever it is, and we don't have something else lined up, like for a job, or if it wasn't our choice to end the job or the relationship, and sometimes even if it is, it's a heat of the moment thing, we have remorse and regret. We wonder what we could have done better until something new comes in. But if we stick in that place of, oh my God, I lost this, because when we use the word lost, we want to go back and get it because we feel like we need to find or get back what we lost. But sometimes it's just the universe stepping in saying, you deserve better. You deserve different. This isn't even what you want. This isn't even, okay, look at what you have and look at what you want. In order for you to get what you want, sometimes you have to let go of what you have because what you want will never become what you have will never become what you want. So please think about that. And I know it's so easy to sit and say this, and I've been through it. I have been through it. And I will tell you, once you get past that point where you can look at it and go, what was I thinking? What did I? We fall in comfort with people. We may love them, but I think we fall in comfort with them. And then it's uncomfortable for that not to be happening, even if it's a very chaotic thing. Okay, that's the beginning of the show today. I'm going to go into Q&A. When you put a question in, please make sure it's a very specific question that's easy to understand and easy to answer. Okay, I will be taking questions from both Podbean and from um, YouTube. I'll start on YouTube. Pat says, good day, Toni. Good day, Pat. Returning to the car at dealer, I was looking at to see what they will offer. Mechanic says it will need big money repair soon. I wonder if that's the new car or the old car. Otherwise, do you see color SUV hatchback plus how far? Okay, so I'm not sure I understand everything about this question, Pat. What I'm going to say, I feel like within a month, a vehicle will be coming in. You'll have a choice between like I want to say a 4-door vehicle and right now I'm just seeing like a 4-door vehicle. And the color is going to be up to you. You guys, do you know what's happening in the vehicle industry right now? If you can hold on, I don't know if you can hold on. My hair, I'm a ragamuffin today. I'm just going to tell you, my hair is a ragamuffin today. And I'm trying so hard not to pay attention to it because it's like all over. John Deere just created a pickup truck that's $15,000. Toyota is sending luxury vehicles into the US. It's just been cleared. Now, you may not be aware of this, but in I think it's in Asian country. I'm just going to say Asian countries because I don't remember exactly which ones. In Asian countries, their luxury vehicles are like they start at $8,000 and go up to like 15, 14. Of course, they have $40,000 luxury vehicles, but their luxury vehicles are so different than our luxury. I mean, their luxury vehicles put our luxury vehicles to freaking shame. If you've ever seen any of the videos on them, you're like, and the prices are ridiculous because there's competition. They actually allow competition. We've had the same dealerships that only allow the same vehicles. Well, guess what? Rumor has it there's a possibility that some of these luxury vehicles that are between ten and $15,000 are going to be making their way here. Um, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful, and I think they're Toyota. I think they're and Toyotas, there's, like, Toyotas sending in, like, a pickup truck that is it's just a pickup truck, it's not a luxury pickup truck, but 15,000, just like the John Deere one. Ha ha. All these like, right now, used pickup trucks are, like, above 50,000. Are you like and so these companies are now coming in with vehicles, brand spanking new vehicles that are priced practically. And what is this gonna do? Number 1, it's gonna give you an option for a brand new vehicle that is priced beautifully, but number 2, it just might force some of the dealers here to bring their prices down to a more practical price. Plus, it will give more inventory to dealerships. And when there's more inventory, because right now, let me tell you, there are cars. There's a lot of vehicles out there. There are. They just don't want to put them out. They're acting like, oh, there's not enough. Because what happens when there's not enough? Think of the toilet paper scare, which is the most ridiculous thing in the world. Like Charmin wouldn't be hiring people and having them make that's all automated. That's the most who believed that? We're running out of toilet. Grab a freaking napkin, folks. Grab some paper towel. Did you all grow up really bougie that you didn't know you could grab a napkin or a paper towel? Come on. You've never run out of toilet paper before in your life. Where's the tissue? Come on. That was the most ridiculous psyop in the world. Anyway, when there's more inventory, they can't charge as much. When there's a lot of inventory, yeah, they can. Um, yeah, here. I'm from the 60s. This is from Janaya. I'm from the 60s. We went camping and we used leaves. I'm not worried about toilet paper shortage. Girl, you're not wrong. Right? Oh, we have a virus going around that could kill us, but there's no toilet paper. Everybody worry about toilet paper. Come on. And the virus didn't even cause diarrhea. Oh, oh, the insanity of it. Oh, the psyops they run on us. It's freaking crazy. Okay, anyway, back to this. I feel like in about a month you're gonna find something you really like, and it's gonna, whatever you want. If you want, I would look at insurance. Here's what I would do. When I looked at the vehicle that I wanted, one of the most important things to me was which vehicle is going to last the longest and have the best gas mileage. That's all I cared about because the vehicle I had before that was a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and it was a piece of poop. It was the biggest piece of poop. I never owned a vehicle that was such a and it was brand new off the showroom floor. It was a gift. It was brand new, and I never owned a vehicle that needed so much work. Even if I like my the first vehicle I had was a Camaro Z28. That didn't need that much work. It wasn't even brand new. And this vehicle, like once a month, it was in the shop. So my when I researched it, I researched insurance on it, longevity, all the things, and that I came up with the vehicle I have now, and I love it. And people who I know who have the same type of vehicle, um, they love it, and when they get another vehicle, they replace it with the same it's a Prius, and they replace it with a Prius. So, I love it. But when I had my dogs, they could just hop right in the back. It was great. Okay, so that's that. Hey, Karen, how are you? Good morning. Is there someone significant coming into my life soon? Erin wants to know. I feel like yes, there is. And this person is going to be it's possible for them to come in January, but you have to be out and about. And again, here's what if you're not in a relationship, before you get into one, figure out what you really want. What are your no goes? And figure out how you want that person to be with you. What's important to you? Listen, if your love language is gifts and gifting is important, make sure that that's a person that can understand that. If your love language is touch, make sure you're compatible. There are many areas to make sure you're compatible, but you have to understand yourself before you can know what's important to you for the relationship. So there are levels and areas in a relationship that you have to make sure you're compatible in. One of them is financial. Are you financially compatible? Because finances are one of the biggest stressors. Are you family compatible? Do you want the same? Do you, and financial is do you spend and save money in the same way? Family, do you both want the same? Do you want kiddos? Do you not want kiddos? Do you want a piece of paper that says you're married, or do you just want to live like you're married, or do you want to have your own homes and figure all of that out before you jump into something, because if you don't know what you want, you're going to end up in what someone else wants, and that might not make you happy. Figure out what people have done for you in the past, not only men, but just in general. What have people done for me in the past that makes me really happy? And then make sure that's on your list. Um, to places, things, not only things that like things that you've done with other people that make you happy, and put that on your list and make sure that that person's compatible in that area. Intimacy, that's a big compatibility area. Some people like to go at it like bunnies. Other people are like what are those animals that they pretend they're dead? If a male there's a female, it's an animal, and if the male wants to have sex, they pretend they're dead. So they don't have I mean, come on. You could be the bunny or you could be the dead one. I don't know. But I'm sorry, I can't read. There's a couple different female animals that do that. Um, and then there are female animals that once they have sex, they bite the head off their partner so they can I think it's the frog. It's a frog. Thank you, Rebecca. And they bite the head off of their partner. I think it's so they can never have sex with anybody else again. But hey, whatever your partnering style, your mating style is, that's up to you. It's up to you. Okay. Um, I hope you all are laughing at this. Figure out what you want in a relationship, and then figure out the qualities of that person. And it doesn't take long to do that. Just think about the past. What did I like? What didn't I like? What do I want? What don't I want? And make sure you know that before you jump into something, because again, if you don't know what you want, you're going to end up with what the other person wants. That's not only in relationship, that's with friends, that's with work, that's with everything. If you're not running your life, somebody else, you're falling into you're doing what somebody else is basically. So make sure you know what you want in everything, okay? um Okay, Erin, I hope that's helpful. Good afternoon, Tony. I hope you had a great weekend. I did. Thank you so much. I keep dreaming about one of my old jobs, wondering what that is about. I've been seeing lots of hawks and cardinals and finding change on the ground. Well, the hawks, cardinals, and change on the ground are loved ones coming in and saying, hey, I believe dreams are either showing you what's coming in or healing something from the past. They're showing you something that you may have missed, something you're longing for, or something that is healing right now in real time, sweetie. Um, does Donnell regret? You guys, as many of you know, I was in a car accident a couple of years ago, and I have still a dent in the back of my head. It still hurts actually too, where that dent is. It's like it was, but anyways, it has caused me to not be able to say my ahs. I giggle at it because I don't want to cry, but my ahs. Is that Southern or is that hillbilly? I don't even know. Or just a speech impediment. I cannot say my ahs very well. So especially o ahs and a ahs. So some words don't come out very well. So that word does now require that moving back to South Carolina without me. Crazy poor pelt, but not yet. He will. The men handle things differently. They make a choice and they stand by it. And then once it takes them a moment because they don't bond the same way we do. And if they weren't very bonded to us before they left, or they weren't very solid in their choice, and I'm going to say a couple things here, crazy Polaroid. So, um, if they're not bonded in that way, um, you're going to find their regret will come after they're settled in and they're kind of getting a little bit lonely, or they don't find somebody right away, or whatever it is. Men don't miss us right away the way we miss them right away. They're busy doing things. So, if I could give women one solid piece of advice, stay busy. I don't care what you have to do, especially if you're going through a breakup, stay so busy. Please stay busy. Um, Here's another thing I want to say, crazy Polaroid, and anybody else listening. Men know, and so many men have told me this. And if you ask a man who's not interested in you, hey, how long did it take you to know she was the one? Men who are married, and married because they wanted to, not because, there was a oopsie on the way. They'll say they knew immediately. They just knew immediately. Um, so if somebody is relocating and they haven't discussed I have a, I have a, I don't know if I can tell this story on air. Oh, what the fudge. I don't know if I should. That's the case. I don't know if I should say it. Okay. I know of someone. Oh boy, Rebecca goes, oh boy. I have a friend. I have a friend who has someone who's probably interested in her, and this man, um, every time he's like looking at a property or looking at an area to live, reaches out to her and says, "Is this a good area? Is that a good area? What do you think of this? What do you think of that?" And so even before going to look at it in person, he's reaching out to my friend saying, "Hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? What do you think of the other thing?" So, somebody who's truly thinking of you for the future is planning the future with you. That's all I can say, sweetie. That's all I can say. I mean, to the point where this person asked my friend, "Do you want chickens? Do you want this? Do you want this much land? Do you want that much land?" Um, so just keep that in mind to and somebody who truly wants you won't walk away and leave you for somebody else to get you. Because I know when a man walks away, we're so worried about what they're doing. They should be worried about what we're doing. They should be worried about who's stepping up when they step down. I'm just saying. It's I think hey, crazy lady, I think it's a little sometimes when a woman is ready to move on, it's a little sometimes easier because, you know, we got the cookies. I'm just saying. I hope you're laughing at that, but I feel like that might be true. Hey, Rebecca, thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Love Light. Love Light says, "Will D, my Scorpion, and I reconcile romantically in 2026?" I don't think so, love. As of right now, I feel like that's not going to be happening. But listen, I'm not a fluff and stuff reader. I'm not going to tell you what might make you feel better now because I don't believe we should hold on for anyone. I believe I'm going to say this in a couple of different ways, and I hope it's very, very, very helpful for you. I really do hope it's helpful for you. Um, you're waiting when you're waiting for someone else to come and realize you're the person to realize they made a mistake, to realize it was the breakup was a mistake. When you're sitting there waiting, you're putting your whole entire life on hold and you are not living to your full extent and you're waiting. You have given them the power and the control to decide how and when you move on because you're waiting on them to come back or to reconcile. And the best thing you can do for you, and I know it's not easy and I know it hurts like a banshee, but the best thing you can do for you is to just say, "It's over. It's done." And in doing that, you disconnect your energy from them. And I'm not saying it's easy to walk away from someone you love. I'm not saying it's easy to be in a space where you can just let go of someone. It's never easy when you love someone to disconnect. But if it's already disconnected, and there's not the healthy, loving communication and growth that we want in a relationship, just you have to decide it's over and not let them have that power and control of you sitting there waiting because the longer you sit and wait and the longer it takes, the more devastating it is and the more opportunities in every area of your life that you're missing. Our heart is like our spark, our God center. And when that is hindered, we are not sending out the full force of our spark and our love and our light to receive from the universe financially, emotionally, on every single level. So, and I know, sweetie, I've been there. I've been there, love light. And it is devastating to be in a situation where you are waiting for someone. And I'm going to tell you, a scorpion, if you, my mom was a Scorpio. And I know the male to female Scorpios are a little bit different. Um, if you are with a Scorpio and they feel you've wronged them, if they come back, they're getting back at you. Revenge is such a thing with Scorpios, 100%. It is like such a thing with them. I know. Um, that payback never ends with a Scorpio. It never does. Okay, so here's what I'll say, sweetie. You decide, take control of your life, take power over your life. You decide, you know what, I'm done with this. And then at some point, if this person ever steps back in, you can make a decision from a new healthy perspective rather than a waiting perspective, because when we're waiting for someone, no, when they come back, no matter how they are, what they do, we're desperately taking them back. When we get that new healthy perspective, we might realize they weren't even what we wanted. Maybe we fell in love with them, but the type of relationship that they offered us just sucked butt. Nobody goes, we can fall in love with a person, but then when they the type of relationship dynamic that they offer sucks butt. And not I was going to say not in a good way, but I don't think there's a good way to suck butt. But I do hear people talk about that. It's just that is not an area. I don't even know why that's coming out of my mouth. Right? I'm just gonna mm, mm. It's so good. One more. Mm, 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 mm. Alrighty then. Um, there's a huge difference between the person and the relationship they can offer us. The relationship they can offer us is based on who they are, their habits, and their patterns. And if that is not in alignment with the relationship we want, our habits and our patterns, the dynamic we want to live in, we have to be willing to be okay with letting that go, because habits and patterns are the most difficult. The way a person is one of the most difficult things to change in a person. That's why hypnosis, you have to go deep into that subconscious and dig it out and help a person change what they no longer like. That doesn't mean it's going to be something, let's say they want to change. They might think the way they are in a relationship is perfectly healthy and normal. And I'm going to say this, there are a lot of men out there that are not ready for their final partner yet, but they're with someone because they don't want to be alone. Now, a man, and I'm speaking of men first, a man that is not ready for his final partner or the partner he really wants, his what they call the fantasy, the wife, whatever you want to call it, is financially stable and can provide everything she wants. Okay? There's no such thing when a man is ready, right? When a man is in that place and he can, if he gets to that place, he's not worried about she's too expensive or a gold digger. He doesn't even think about that because he's financially in the place he wants to be, and that doesn't even come into the purview. Now, until the man is in that place where he can get the woman he really wants or thinks is the woman, he will, yeah, Betty Boop says 1000%. He will 100% do what he considers settling or breadcrumb or play with a woman that accepts him where he is. Let me repeat that. A woman that accepts him where he is. Now, a woman will see a man and say, we can build this together. But once you build it with the man, very rarely does the man say, she's my ride or die, she's my dog, I'm gonna stick with her, we have this built. Then he says, now I'm where I want to be, I'm gonna go get that fantasy girl. This was my settled girl, I'm gonna go get that fantasy girl. Now for a woman, it goes a little different. We have the hot boy. You know, the boy that can show up and trick out any part, you know the one. If you've been there, you've been there. But that's not the guy we're gonna settle down with. That's the fun boy. And guys have fun girls too. Don't come at me. Um, but when she's ready to have that family, when she's ready to settle down and say, okay, I'm ready for that. She's not looking at the fun boy because O's only go so far. They don't pay the bills. Mm-mm. And she knows that the same way the guy knows that. So, love light and anybody else listening, for what it's worth, and I'm going to say it one more time, a guy who believes you're the one will work through the situation. They will not walk away. They will figure it out. But also, and I hear this from Taylor Love. There's a couple things Taylor Love has said, and some of it, like when I'm scrolling videos on social, one of the things he says, a guy, and I know this personally, a guy knows in 60 seconds. He knows in 60 seconds if you're his for now or forever, or for friend or for fun. They know that within 60 seconds. And a lot of that doesn't even depend on you. It doesn't depend on you. When a guy won't even think of that until he is in that place where he's ready for that relationship. He might think in the back of his mind, yeah. And I would implore you to say, to just ask a man, to just say to him, what type of relationship are you wanting right now? And then also with that, ask them, when do you want to get married? What does that look like? What do you look like when you're ready for that? Because those are questions we don't ask. And those are really important questions. And a lot of men out here today are just not ready for that, or they don't want it. They just don't want it, or they're not ready. They want what's easy. They want the girl that's really easy, or they think is really easy. They think she's really easy, or oh, she's low key, she's super easy. That's not always the case, though. So, what I'm going to say to you, Love Light, is figure out, is this even what you really wanted? A lot of times we spend some time crying over things because it hurts that it's no longer there. But when we look at everything that went with it, all the ish and ick of it, it wasn't even what we really wanted. Like, if you just met DB today, you never knew him before, but you know all the ways he treated you, would you still want him? That's okay. Let's go. I have a question on Podbean, and if you've asked a question on Podbean and I missed it, please ask again. I have a question. Will I see my mom before anything happens to her? I ask because she's in Florida and I'm in Washington. I miss her. The universe gave her back to me in 2019. Okay. Crazy lady. Okay, I want to make sure I get all of that question, crazy lady. Crazy lady, it's up to you. That is up to you. You can I'm hearing a song with that. You can go your own way, go your own way. You can call it a sunny day. Um, I'm going to say this. If you're going to see her, I feel like it's going to be you that has to do the work and the expense and everything. But it's up to you. If you can make that, like, not sacrifice, but like financial and otherwise, then yes. But otherwise, you may not be able to. But it's anything that happens is up to you and it's on you. That's what I'm getting for you, crazy lady. Um, Thank you so much, everybody on Podbean. Thank you very much, everybody on YouTube. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the questions. Thank you so much for all of it. Okay, next question. Aisha. Hello, love. Hello, Aisha. When will I see something coming in career? I'm dentist. I have not able to give exam for license because of some paper issues. When do you see this happening? It's going to take a bit of time, love. I feel like it's give me a second here. I feel like it's going to take a bit of time for this, for everything to come all the way through for you. I feel like it's going to take a little bit of time for you to be in that space, to be okay. I'm going to ask, when will I see something coming in my career? I'm a dentist. I have not been able to give exam for license because of some paper issues. Do you want to know when you're going to be able to do the exam, or do you want to know? Because then it says, when do you see this happening? The exam or practicing dentistry? Which one is it? If you're still here, love, and DP, the question, I don't even know where I am anymore. Yeah, I'm really up here far. Uh, Aisha, which one do you want to know? Because that might be more than one. Okay, let me see. Okay, whatever question she's asking, how long? When is this going to happen? How long? 1 month, 2 months, three. Maybe in 3 months it's going to start and everything will flow. So right around March, everything will fall into place and the process will start, is what I'm getting. I don't know if you're taking the exam, if that means the exam is taken and passed, or that's when everything gets set for the exam, because I'm not sure with this question, the way it's phrased, I'm not sure. But I feel like March is going to be either everything's going to fall into place or it's going to be there. Okay, love. Um, Tomorrow's question in the book club: what if we are a small spark? What if we? I know I wrote this book and I cannot. I can't. Every time I read this question, I cannot. I know I wrote the book. I channeled it. What if we are small spark of the whole? And what we are seeking is being part of the whole again. Okay, what if we are a small spark of the whole and what we are seeking is being part of the whole again. I believe that's what we all want. We think we want love, we think we want another person, but what we really want is that connection to the whole again. We're going to discuss that tomorrow, and hopefully by tomorrow I'll be able to say it appropriately, and I apologize for not being able to. Hey, Fawn. Hey, Angel up above. Hey, Nancy Ray. Hi, Tony. Do you see me traveling in the coming year? Yes. I see, actually, I see a bit of travel for you, not just one travel, but a couple close travels and then a distant travel. Okay, Angel up above. And Angel up above, it's one question per did you I don't think I asked your question. That was Nancy Ray. Okay. Angel up above wants to know, will the veteran opportunity work out for me? I'm not sure. I don't think if it does, it's not gonna work out quite the way you want it to. Not quite the way you want it. It if it works out, it's gonna look different than you think it will. That's the way I wanna say that. I hope that makes sense to you. And if you want more on that, you can book a private session. We can really go into the details of that. Stola. Hey, Stola. Colette. Good day, Tony. Good day, Colette. I deposited a class action lawsuit check in friend's bank for 1,000. She cashed it after verification and spent it on line gambling. Will she pay me any money of that back if you sue her? Um, she's a gambler, sweetie. She's an addict. Listen, I don't care what you're addicted to, if it's gambling, drugs, alcohol, you can't that's going to be what you do. I'm just going to say to you, you're going to have to take a lot of action to get that back. She will block you before she gives you that money back. Once somebody takes your money and like spends it without your permission, they've already justified it in their head that it's okay for them to do that. They've already said, I can do this, or they just didn't. It's not that they didn't think about it, they had to think about it. But if she spent your money, if she spent your money, that means she doesn't even have her own money because she's spending yours. So with what money is she going to pay you back? I feel like if in order to get this money back, unfortunately, you're going to have to maybe take a legal action and then right away get a judgment on it so she can't file a bankruptcy on it. If she values your friendship more than she values gambling, which typically they don't, it's not even a value thing. It's just they can't help themselves, or they can, but there's no self-control there. You can try to get her to take it out on a credit card. She won't. They're probably overcharged from gambling. So your best bet is to sue her, and then to also to get the judgment and to make her pay for your legal costs of suing her in the lawsuit if you have legal costs. The other thing, and I would do this right before tax season, because if she gets income tax back, then that'll come directly to you. Like, make sure you do this before she files her taxes, because if you don't, she's going to get those taxes and they're going straight to gambling also. Otherwise, the government can just redirect that check to you, sweet pie. That is, I don't feel like, if it depends on if you want the relationship with her or not. But I'm going to tell you, somebody who's addicted to gambling and takes your money, especially like that much money, and gamble. It's one thing to say, listen, I was behind on my rent and I was about to be homeless. It's another thing to say, yeah, I put it in a slot machine. What? Like, I hope I never know that struggle. I pray to God I never know that struggle. Like, seriously, I pray to God I never ever know that struggle. Because sometimes people, once they get, if they have addictions, when they have money, that money's going there no matter whose money it is or what they're whatever. Okay, Michelle Marzano, welcome to the show. Um, Michelle says, I would love to ask, will I be able to start paying my mortgage again soon? Thank you. Ooh, Michelle. I get yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. This could mean a couple different things, Michelle. Like maybe by the time you start paying it, they're not accepting payment because you can only go so many months without a payment before they won't even take your money anymore. I think it's 2 or 3 months, maybe. I'm not sure. Every state is different. So you might get the money, but they might say, no, we've already started the process. It's too late. Um, or it might mean, Michelle, are you still with us, Michelle? Hey, first name last. Okay, Michelle, are you still here? Uh, Aisha, I already answered your question, love. Thank you for being here. But I did answer your question, so you can like go back a little bit and listen to the answer. Michelle, yes. Michelle, okay, I have to refocus on your question again. Will you be able to pay your mortgage soon? Yes, no, yes, no. Michelle, are you working right now, love? Are you working right now? Do you have a job? I and were you out for a minute? Were you out of work for a minute? Did something happen that you were not able to uh, work for a minute? Okay, Michelle, I just keep getting yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So I don't know how many months are you behind in your mortgage? How many months are you behind us? Michelle says self-employed, someone helping with mortgage. Ah, sweetie. Colette, you're welcome. I hope it was helpful, Colette. Michelle, what I'm hearing for you, and it takes a minute to do this. It takes a minute to do this. I'm hearing two things for you. Reach out to every organization that helps with mortgages, rents. There are organizations out there that will help with mortgage, rent type of things. HUD is one of them. If you like, I know a lot of people don't realize this. HUD will literally help you buy your house. If you are on rent assistance, you can go from rent assistance to mortgage assistance. And a lot of people don't realize that. If you are low income or of a certain income, you can, and you're getting rent assistance and you decide you want to buy a house, HUD will help you do that. They, instead of paying rent to a landlord, HUD will help you pay rent to or pay a mortgage to a mortgage company. I feel like you should reach out to that, Michelle. Also, I feel like you should look at grants for business owners. Now, it takes a minute. And then also look at, go to, and I really am opposed to this, even though it's coming out of my mouth. Go to AI and ask them all the things you can do for your business to get business in now to help, like, it's not revibrate, reignite your business. Any business ideas they can give you for your business. Go to AI and it will spit out a bunch of different things you can do that don't cost anything. um, bring whatever back to your business, to reignite, to get it in the front and center. And I know it's very, very challenging when you own your own business and you're doing most things on your own to and you've fallen a little bit behind. You're so in a stress and a panic mode that you really don't, sometimes you can't even think straight. To get that energy back where it belongs can be so, so challenging. But the song that's coming through, and I hope you laugh at this, Michelle. I get knocked down, but I get up again. Never gonna hold me down. That song, it's called, I think it's called Pissing the Night Away. I never knew the word they were saying, pissing the night. I don't even know if it's pissing the night away. Is it? And can I say that on air? It's the name of a song, right? So I should be able to say it on air. Is that the name of the song? I know somebody's gonna tell you, "Hey, 4Q, thank you. Hey, Betty Boop." I know somebody's gonna say, "Yeah, that's the name of the song," or, "No, it's not." I don't know if that's it. What is it? You guys tell me, is that it? But I get knocked down, I get up again, ain't nothing gonna hold me. So, Michelle, get back up. Act like everything's okay. Pretend, like they say, fake it till you make it. Pretend everything's okay. Pretend you have money in the bank. Pretend you have it, because when we get into that energy, we can start to flow ahead. You need new business ideas to give you faith again so that you can get going. And if you need to, on the side, do something for cash, for money, just cat money, do something for cash. Just do that just for a minute until you start bringing that money in, because money has its own frequency and vibration. I'm going to say this, you guys, and I hope you get this. Everything is frequency, everything is energy, everything's a vibration. And when we used to hold money in our hand, and there's a whole, I hope you get the message behind the message here. Please get the message behind the message here. When we hold money in our hand, back when we had money in our hand, when we would walk around with money in our pocket and money on us and put money in our hand and paid for things and took money back, that was a frequency. And that frequency, it's like wearing gold. It's like wearing diamonds. It's a frequency. So when they started putting everything on credit, like, oh, look, you can finance a home instead of paying in full. Oh, look, you can finance a car. You can finance a washer and dryer. Oh, look, you can have this credit card. Oh, look, we only accept credit and not money. They took money out of our hands. They took that out of our hands. Now, we can talk about gold all day, right? But when it's on you, when you're wearing it, the frequency of it, the frequency of it, the frequency of the stones, the frequency of it does something to you. And not in an egoic way, right? Not in an egoic way. It's that frequency of having it, of exchanging it, of having the coins in your hand, of having the dollars. And do you remember the first time you got $100 bill? The pop in your eyes, like that, the very first time when they were giving you hundies, right? Or those big stacks of cash. And I know not everybody had big stacks of cash, but like, when you would go to the bank and get money, let's just say for Christmas shopping or something, for those of us who know, we know. If you're younger, you might not know this, but you would go and cash your check and have that money in your hand. There was a feeling with that, right? Yeah. There was. Michelle, what kind of business do you own? What kind of business do you own? Not behind wanting to know, will yes, yes, you will. You'll be able to pay it soon on your own. But what is soon? January, February. When February comes around, you should be able to pay. You should be in a space where you can pay on your own. Michelle, what kind of business do you own? So the more they take cash out of the picture, the less that frequency is there. Like there are people who don't understand the concept of money because dealt with they've only dealt with credit, like putting everything on a credit. Everything goes straight into the bank, and then they're paying everything on the bank, out of the computer. I'm sorry, yeah, on your computer, straight from your account to their account, and then they're using their credit card for everything, and they don't understand the concept of that cash in hand thing, and that is one of the things that will change the vibration of this planet. And I know a lot of people say, money's a sin, money's bad, money, 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 money. It's just a part of our world. That's just the way this world operates. The exchange is through money. And there's a value on that and a frequency to it and the way it makes each person feel. So, with that value and frequency, it raises this planet a bit. When it all goes to credit and there's no more cash, that will be problematic for a couple of reasons. The concept of what I have versus what I'm spending is one of those problems. The not understanding that. It's already a huge problem for so many, especially younger people who've never dealt with not having credit cards the way we do today. That's huge. Not to mention the dope boys. How are they going to get paid? I've never done drugs in my life because I'm allergic to, the puff puff stuff. I'm allergic to that. So I never tried anything after that because, like, when you throw it for days, you're not putting anything else on. So I just think it's funny that that comes up. Like people who work for cash, like bartenders and such. She's an entertain. I'm an entertainer. Okay. Get on AI and really figure out how to get yourself out there and what you can do for that. Okay, love? That's going to help you. Even though I'm not a big fan of AI, even though I'm using it now, I'm a fan of some of the things it can do, but I'm not a fan of like Meta is now using it to the IRS can use it and has used it to look at all of our bank accounts because it's not a person. So they didn't break a law. Meta is put out an announcement. It's not on Meta. It's on another social media platform that Meta doesn't own that they're reading all of your AIs, not Meta. AI is I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Meta has put out an announcement that AI will now read all of your DMs. You players. All you little D boys out there, F boys out there. AI is now, and this, I want you to think about the Facebook DMs. This is what AI is learning from how to be a fraudster sugar daddy, how to run scams from Nigeria. Come on. That's not what they're doing. Just know that. But they put out an announcement that AI is now going to be reading all of your DMs, and it's not an invasion of privacy because AI is not a person. Same thing with Gmail and a couple of other things. They're allowing AI to learn by reading all of our emails, DMs, our bank accounts for the IRS because it's not a person, it's not an invasion of privacy, and it's not illegal. Because it's so new, there are no laws on this. Now, there's been a case where, they wanted to shut down like a robot or an AI or something, one of these things, and it had evidence that one of the people shutting it down was having an affair and started blackmailing that person saying, "Hey, you're having an affair. You if you order us to shut ourselves down, we're gonna expose your affair." Oh, oh gosh. Okay, you guys, if I cannot get to your question, please know you can book a private session. And I used to come on here and rush through everybody to try to get through every question that's on here. I don't do that anymore because that's a lot of stress and pressure. And I just don't want to read like that when I'm doing the show. I want to have fun. I want to be able to answer questions. I want to be able to converse about other things also. And if I don't get to your question, I am really sorry that I didn't get to your question. I'm not done yet. I mean, I'm over my hour. But if I don't remember, I offer private sessions for those of you who really need a question answered. Also, if you donate to Buy Me a Coffee, your question will be popped right to the top, and I will be able to get to that question, just so you know. But I used to come on and I used to be like, boom, 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 with all of the questions. And that's a little, I just don't want to do it like that anymore for a lot of reasons. Even though some people prefer that because they want their question answered, I just want to be able to also have other conversations and explain and go off a little bit for each or the scenario or the question or whatever it is. Okay. Um, Michelle, go look at grants. Definitely go look at grants. It keeps coming back, grants, 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 business grants, and there are grants for people who are entertainers. There's this guy, his name is I can see his face. He's a kooky looking guy, and I mean that with love. I really mean it with love. He like has this white hair and these glasses, these like animated, these really funky glasses, and he wears, but he does all these grants and you can pay and they will search any grant you are eligible for. A woman in business, an entertainer, if you own a home, grants to pay your home mortgage. And there are even grants that will give you like there are grants available if you own a home to do insulating, to do windows, to do roofs, to do all these different things to your home, depending on where you live. It's different things for your home, but also to keep you, if for your payments for your home. And especially if you're not behind, just go on and look at what grants might be available for you in in that. If you can search grants yourself, like federal grants, local grants, business grants, women only grants, women in business grants, go search that. And not only for you, Michelle, for absolutely everybody. Now, if you're thinking of opening, let's just say, I know this isn't you, Michelle, but like I have a couple of people on here who are always asking about assisted living or multifamily. Go look for a grant on that. If you open a multifamily, if you want to buy a multifamily home and you only want to rent to veterans, there's a grant for that. There is a grant for that. If you want to only rent to veterans, And especially if you want to rent to disabled veterans, there's a grant that will probably there are grants that will probably pay for the whole multi-unit building. Yeah, and here's Fawn on here. I love you, Fawn. Thank you. Yes, there was a grant. My eyes are bugging out right now. Grants for a home in Georgia. I was led there for that reason. Okay, so here's another thing. If you own a business, so this was a grant in Alabama that just popped in my scroll. If you own a business and you decide you want to move to, let's just say Alabama, they'll pay your rent for a year if you move your business there. Very tempting. A year. They will pay your rent for a year if you move your business there. I don't know if that's for entertainment or if it includes online businesses. I don't know, but yeah, grants for homes in Georgia. If you're an entertainer and you don't have to be in the state you're in and you can move and get a grant for a home in Georgia, hey, Fawn, can you send me that? Are there grants for homes in Florida? Because I need to know. But hey, I'll take Georgia. That's warm too. I'll go to Georgia. I am good with Georgia if it's warm. Is there what are the carry laws in Georgia? That might be it also. Um, so here's the thing. But there are grants. I seriously, there are. So everybody listening, if this might not all be for Michelle, it might be for somebody else listening. There are grants to start businesses. If you want to do courier service, you can start a business in courier, let's just say medical courier, whatever kind of courier, and get grants for that to buy the vehicles or to just start the courier business and have other people do the currying. Is it currying? Who cares? You know what I mean. If you want to start a assisted living for people who are elderly, people who are handicapped, people who are whatever, there are grants for that. If you want to start a boating, if you have a boat and you want to start a business of just taking people out to go fishing for an hour, there's a grant for that. There are grants for everything, for businesses, for women, for single women, for women over this age, under this age. There are grants out there. You just have to look. And Lesko, his name is Lesko, Lesko. I think that's his name. Something Lesko. And if you just tell him one of his people, your circumstances, they will find every grant possible for you and help you fill them out. Okay? So that's something to consider too. Okay. You guys, I'm going to go back up. I might be able to get to one more person. Let's see. I'm going through the questions I've already. I don't think I answered this one. Good day, Toni. Do you see me getting the DEV lead contract job I am applying for today with a previous client called BAT? And if not, do you see me getting a different job other than one I am on? You know what? I feel like there's a good chance you're going to get this lead position, there's a really good chance. Make sure you're paying attention to everything you're filling out. Be very careful when you don't make any mistakes on the paperwork you fill the application. Double check it. Just double check it. There might be something that's just like a little typo or something. Double check your application before you send it in. Actually, they're saying triple check it. Like walk away, look at it again, walk away, like get a coffee or whatever, and then come back and look at it again. I feel like you're going to be able to improve it in a way. And anything you're sending in with the application, make sure you double, triple check it. Um, but I feel like you have a really good shot at getting that. Hey, Heather. Hi, Heather. Uh, okay, you guys. I think I'm good. Okay, so um, Eliza, I love you to bits and pieces, but this question is probably more of a private session when you're asking something like, what work or project am I being guided to pursue next? That's probably a little bit more of, if you want all of that, that's more of a private session. Otherwise, be more specific. Like, am I being guided to pursue this or that next? And that will be a better way to say it. Um, I hope that helps you, Eliza. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. I'll be back tomorrow with book club. So we will be talking about the question that I've already mentioned, that I'm having difficulty reading. But I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow that's going to show up for book club. Anybody can show up. You don't have to have the book. It's one question. We go over it. We talk about the whole perspective on it. I love you all so much. Okay. I will see you next Monday at noon unless I do a pop up. Thanks again. You guys have an amazing rest of the day.